Zakia at Ladywing Designs, and I thought it would be really great if I did a little vlog this weekend since it is another 24 hours of cross stitch marathon and Jessie Marie's birthday sale. So yeah, that's what we're doing. It is Friday, April the 24th, 2020. It's just after 11 o'clock in the morning, so I am ready. Well, not quite. I still need to eat breakfast, but I've already been stitching for a couple hours this morning. We'll talk about that in a second. So, yeah, I just thought it would be good. I wanted to do a vlog a couple weekends ago and had a few clips for it too, and then like never really finished it out. And then the more time went by, it was just like weird. So, um, yeah, so I've really been like wanting to do vlogs since the year started and they just haven't worked out. So hopefully y'all enjoy this. I'm also, okay, I wasn't going to tell anybody, but really, whatever. Um, I'm also kind of hoping to vlog again for Mania, May, I don't know. Yeah, so it would also help me get back in the group of it. Regardless, we're doing some vlogs this weekend. Um, Anything that I feel like is important enough to link will be in the description box below. Yeah, okay, so it is a Friday morning. My plan, and I did talk about this, I filmed a whip update and a craft with me actually yesterday and uploaded that. Um, yeah, and anyway, so during the craft with me, I talked about what I was going to do this weekend. So the plans have changed just a little bit, of course. Everything's kind of being pushed back a few hours because I am super close to a finish. So I have been working on needle art by Marjorie Massey. It is a gift pattern that I received with an order from Kitten Stitcher. So this is where I am. Where was I yesterday? Okay, so I got a lot of stuff done yesterday because I'm now remembering where I was during the craft with me. So when I left y'all, I had just finished these last two petals and I had barely started on the inside of the sunflowers. So as you can see, the sunflower is now completely done. I then came up here. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to get this motif in the whole, I don't know why I didn't think of that because that was the edge of the pattern. But anyway, so I said, okay, let's jump up here and start on the letters so that I'll be ready to move the Q-snap. So the letters are here, and you'll notice that I changed some colors. So this, I just thought, okay, pause. At first, I wasn't going to do the letters at all, but um, after, I don't remember what happened that made me think, oh no, I should do them. I think I was thinking about where I was going to put the signature, and I was like, well, if you do the letters, you can, you know, rearrange or highlight, whatever. I've done that in a few patterns before, so of course that's what I thought about. And then I thought, how awesome would it be if I highlighted the initials of Kristen and Michelle Bendy, who I was kind of doing this sow with for this pattern. I have like flown through it, which was a complete accident, but whatever. I really enjoyed stitching it, so yeah. Um, so I decided to do that, and when I thought about, okay, how am I going to do this, I was like, okay, whichever is the first initial for each person's first or last name, whichever one comes first, I will just rearrange in order and put that person's initials first and last. And it just so happened, the way that it worked out, that all of our last name initials come before the first name initials. So when I got to the R up here, I moved the Z over. And I'm still doing the same exact spacing. The spacing was really simple. for this, so it should all work out exactly the same. But yeah, so I moved the Z up here and did the R, and that I did in gold. It's this color, this gold. And then, you know, just continued back with where I was. So when I get down here, it'll end with an ampersand, the and symbol, instead of Z. Yeah, and then when I came up here, Kristen's last name starts with an E, so when I got to the E, I moved the K, and then continued, and then of course G for Michelle's last name. So I immediately switched. It was actually more fun than I thought it would be, like right in here with like the quick little color changes, but because I didn't carry any floss. Yeah, but anyway, so then I moved the M, and so now we're back here, and you can see there's the J, and I skipped the K doing the L, I'm skipping the M, and this will be the N, and that's actually going to be the end of the letters. So yeah, I got, so I did that, and I, since I was changing mine to yellow, because my favorite, or it's actually more of a gold, since that's my favorite color. Kristen is Blue Bonnets and Whiskey on Instagram and on FlossTube. I'm actually starting to binge watch her right now. So it's already in the title, in her name. So I did hers in blue floss. It's the same color as the numbers. And then I sent a picture to Michelle of like the remaining flosses that I would be kind of willing to do her letters in. It was most of them, don't get me wrong, but I had kind of guessed before. I was like, oh, I could do the pink because when, you know, when I think of Michelle, I think of rose and pink. Yeah. So I had initially said, okay, I'll do that. And then I thought, well, no, what if she picks a different color? So I arranged all my flosses and took a picture and sent it to her and was like, okay, pick a color. And then she still chose the pink. So it was kind of perfect. Yeah, and then after I finished the letters, I came down here to, wow, is it actually like one, I guess that it is one stitch over on the pattern like that. I never realized that. That's so funny. Um, anyway, sorry. So I came over here to this butterfly. I was looking at this in the camera and I'm like, whoa, why is that off? But it's not off. That's exactly how it was charted. And I never realized that it wasn't on the same line. Anyway, so yeah, so I finished this butterfly this morning. That's what I was working on. I worked on finishing it, and it was really fun. You can't see it very well. You can't really tell on camera. Kind of up here you can. I worked, like I said, I think I said it yesterday. When I work with Fancy Floss, I like to work one stitch at a time. It just gives me the best variegation, especially with these flosses, color and cotton. It's fabulous variegation. So it's totally worth it to me to go one stitch at a time. But anyway, yeah, so I worked this, like the body of the butterfly horizontally, and then all of the wings were worked vertically. So, yay. I'm almost done, y'all. So now well, I'm gonna eat breakfast first, and then when I get back to stitching, I am going to come up here and start the border. No, I won't come over here. So I'll come over here and start the border. And then I might actually move the Q-snap over here and bring the border down and wrap around. And then, yeah, when I get back up here, wherever I choose to go from to do the, whoops, when I get over here for the border, that's when I will finish off the letters. Because I just have the N, the rest of the X, Y, and the ampersand. So, almost done. And everything else in the center, like all of that is done. The letters are the last center thing that I have to finish. Yeah, so what else? Stitching it on 32 count color and cotton, River Rock linen. Silver Moon Sewing for the grime guard, stitching button for the needle minder. And I'm keeping my flosses and the pattern in a Love You More Studio Co sleeve. It's got butterflies on it, so of course. But yeah, so the goal right now is to finish that. I'm not quite sure if that's what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking my boyfriend usually stops by my apartment during his lunch break because he works close to my apartment. So I think, so a lot of the times I use that as kind of like, okay, when he leaves, I'm gonna do this, or when he gets here, like I'll be done doing whatever. It's like a good physical time marker that I can use. So I think what I'm going to do is keep working on this, and by the time that he leaves, if it's not done, or like super close to being done, like right there, I think, sorry, I think that was somebody's car, if that was audible. Um, anyway, so I think I'm going to just set the goal that by whenever he leaves to go back to work, if I'm not done or super close to being done, then I'm going to switch over to Change of Seasons, which is what I was supposed to actually be starting the day with. I won't bother showing it to you right now, actually, because I will come back at that point and we'll see where I am. So, okay. Yeah. Oh, was there anything else I wanted to show y'all? Where's my phone? I only say that question like a billion times a day. So, I just wanted to show y'all my stopwatch counter for 24 hours. Oh my good gravy, what is that noise? Yeah, so I thought, I could just keep up with it, but then within the first, I stitched for like 15 minutes when I started this morning and then got distracted on Instagram checking notifications and different things. So I was like, let's start a stopwatch for the weekend to keep up with how many hours I'm stitching. So I just hit the resume button when I start stitching, and if I stop for whatever reason, I make sure I stop it. So yeah, that's how we're going to keep up with it. Yeah, I am including time. I don't stop the counter for um, like threading needles and cutting threads and that type of thing. Like earlier, one time I started the stopwatch back, and the next thing that I was about to do was actually thread a needle, but I started the timer and then proceeded to thread my needle and all of that because I'm still basically stitching. So okay, I think that that's it. I will be back in only a few hours now. Oh my gosh. To show y'all where I am on needle art. So all I have left really is the border. So let's hope. I think that I can do this, y'all. Okay, so I will be back later. Hey peeps, so I am back. I told myself like 2 or 3 times that I needed to film this little vlog, and oops, sorry about the earthquake. Um, and then of course forgot. So let's catch you up. First of all, it's right at 10 p.m. On Friday night because it took me 7.5 hours of stitching time to finish this, but I got it done. So here we are. Finished project. I'm so excited. I'm super in love with it. Um, well, there's not any natural sunlight, so I don't think it matters. But yeah, so that is it. I don't know. Let's see, what else could I possibly tell you about it? I told you about the initials. Um, Yeah, I mean, really, I just did the border. It was pretty simple. This bottom line, I thought that I was gonna have to fudge it a little bit at the corners, because of the, like, whatever little mistake was in here where it was off by 1 row, but it wasn't a big deal. Everything still lined up really well, so I ended up not having to change anything, which made it even easier. It was a super simple border to stitch, so there it is. I am super excited that this is done. Yeah, so now this fabric is been put to really great use because both sides have been used. So yeah, so both the sampler and this one, and it's great. And I haven't even ironed this because it's been in the Q-snap the whole time, so it's still pretty flat. Unlike both the sampler at this point. Um, okay, now I need to put this somewhere safe until I record the next web update. That's somewhere safe, in case you were wondering. um, okay, so next, there was a bit of a break there. After I finished that, I fixed my lunch or kind of supper. It was more supper while I was working on that. And then ate and got distracted for a bit. Anyway, and then I was like, okay, we got a couple hours. Let's go ahead and pull out Change of Seasons by Mystic Stitch. So this is where I am right now. Oops, sorry, lots of earthquakes today. Um, I've only done like 3 or 4 lines right over here. Yeah, I haven't done all that much yet, but I am on Virtual Stitchers and I'm hanging out with them. So yeah, it's been really, really good so far. So yeah, not much to say other than that. Like I said, Change of Seasons by Mystic Stitch, 25 count, Lugana, 1/1, full cross. Silver Moon Sewing, again, for the Grime Guard, and the needle minder is Brenda's Minders and More. Yeah. And if you're wondering what I use to grid, it is the bow. Where's the actual pencil? Who knows? Um, hmm. Okay, but for real, who knows? Because I don't. Anyway, okay, this is the packaging. It doesn't have a picture of it, but this is the packaging that it comes in. It's a Bohin, Bohin, mechanical chalk pencil. You can get it off of Amazon. And I'm using green lead. I really love it. So yeah, that's that. I've got my tablet down here for Pattern Keeper, and like I said, I'm just sitting and hanging out with Virtual Stitchers. I got some apple juice because I'm that person in my Luke's mug. And yeah, we're stitching. 24 hours of cross stitch. I don't even remember if I paused my timer. I didn't. Okay, anyway, so I am just over 8 hours for stitching time right now. Like I said, I haven't been working on this long, and I've pretty much only got like another hour and a half before I start prepping for my new start. So I think I'll come back probably right before the new start. Okay, so maybe like an hour and 15 minutes. Because I know I get distracted and I'm gonna need time to make Instagram posts, and I still gotta put this fabric in it. Yeah, all of that stuff. Y'all know how it is. But anyway, I will come back and check in on what else I get done with Change of Seasons tonight. It won't be all that much, but that's okay. Alright, so I will check in later. Okay, so, sorry about the light in the background. Hopefully that doesn't blind anyone. But well, that doesn't help much. um, yeah, so I got a little bit more done on Change of Seasons. Like over here, I got a few more rows done. Not that much. This was very slow tonight. I'm super distracted. We're having a good time. I honestly just need to put my phone down so that I can stop getting distracted on Instagram and Facebook and such. Because y'all know how it is. Again, sorry for the earthquakes. My foot's on the coffee table, which is where the laptop is sitting. But anyway, yeah, social media is really distracting me. So, yeah, this is pretty much where I'm going to get on this one. I think I'm going to go ahead and finish this strand, and then we will call it for the night on this, probably. I've got 7 minutes until midnight, so yeah, it's already midnight where Jessie is, so we already said happy birthday to her, which was nice. Yeah, I'm just, it's not Saturday yet, so I'm just waiting for Saturday in my time zone before I. Oh, sorry, I'm just getting messages. But yeah, so that's happening. Okay, pause. I'm gonna go handle this. Okay, so we're back. Yeah, I'm not gonna. It's fine. Everything's fine. I just had to go take care of something. So anyway, we are back, and I think I was just about to talk about my new start. So give me a second. Okay. So officially, this is where I am on Change of Seasons. It is now a few minutes past midnight, so I am sitting that down, and I can now exit out of Pattern Keeper. Ow. Okay, so next, it is now, at least in my time zone, Jessie Marie's birthday. So I think I mentioned earlier we already sang happy birthday to her an hour ago over there, but I was waiting until midnight to start my project. Okay, so I'm specifically starting this project for her, Sal, is my point. um, yeah, this one, Change of Seasons, I kind of joined in there because it also has to do with time, seasons. Um, but it wasn't like the new start that I specifically wanted to do because I'm looking for every excuse for a new start right now. So I'm about to get started on Jardin Privé's Quaker the Halloween, and yeah, I'm super excited. It's only got two colors, black and white, and it counts for Jessie's birthday sale because there's a clock, so something to do with time. Um, yeah, so I'm not even sure what white I'm using yet, if it's going to be white or B5200. I have both sitting up here, so I'll figure it out when I get there, but um, yeah, I've got tons of black, so I'm not worried about that. I transferred the Martyrs Map Grime Guard over to this one and the needle minder because it's got skulls on it, so it just seems kind of perfect. Which is also why I kept the Grime Guard, because Harry Potter and witches. Actually, there's a witch in the pattern, so I mean, I could stop there, but magic, Halloween, it's kind of perfect. Anyway, I will be stitching this on a 32 count light mocha Belfast linen. I still have a few pieces of this, like 9 pieces of this, well, 8 now, that I can use. So a few of them will be used for Mania starts, but we won't go into that. So yeah, okay, I'm going to jump back over to Virtual Stitchers now, because when I film these little clips, I don't leave the Virtual Stitchers room. I just like mute and turn my video off, and I have to like leave the audio so that I can't hear them. Yeah, it's fine, but I know I'm missing out on good stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna get back to that, and I will come back and let you guys know where I am before I go to bed. I don't even know when that's gonna be. Like I said, it's 12:09, like just after midnight. One, I'm a night owl. Two, I'm not tired yet. Three, I love virtual stitchers, and a lot of them are night owls and 24 hours, so it's great. That's all I got to say. I totally forgot to mention last time. So I actually had on a totally different shirt, but I got super hot. So I changed, so my arms and stuff could breathe. And this was the first tank top I saw, and I was like, hey, disco lights and stuff, it's perfect. Jessie Marie's birthday, 24 hours weekend. So yeah, if you were wondering. I'm sure no one was, but yeah, it's actually part of a dance costume from, what dance was this? Oh, okay, I know what dance it is, but I don't remember what year that was. That's a lie, I do. It was 10th grade. Anyway, not the point. Okay, enough of that. I am gonna jump back over there and get back to stitching. I am just over, I don't remember if I said or not last time, but I am just over 9 hours out of my goal of 24. Um, yeah, I might be extending to like a 36-hour goal or something. It's not consecutive by any means because I've been stopping the timer to do other things. But yeah, so we'll see. It'll totally depend on how much stitching I get on Saturday, now that it's Saturday technically. So my brain doesn't reset until I wake up the next morning. Like, it's basically still Friday in my head until I go to sleep. That's what my brain can handle. But okay, the doorbell just rang. Sorry if y'all heard that. That means somebody just came into the room. So I'm gonna go because it's getting awesome over there. So, okay, let's see where I get to, shall we? Hey y'all, so we are back. It is Saturday, April the 25th. I feel like it was already midnight though whenever I recorded. Anyway, so yeah, we are full on into Saturday now. It is almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I was up for a very long time last night, so much so that it was basically this morning because it was. Yeah, but it was great. So I was on virtual stitchers for a while, and then Amy and I, Creativity by Gidge, we got on for a bit last night, and as usual, we just got to talking and lost track of time. And we're both night owls right now, so well, I've always been a night owl, but Amy's kind of been staying up later in the last few weeks and everything. So yeah, when we do kind of meet up to stitch, we usually stay on kind of late. Um, yeah, but that was really great. So we didn't get off of our chat until 5 a.m. my time. Yeah, and then I immediately went to bed. I mean, we sat there like chatting for an extra 30 minutes where I totally wasn't stitching, so I probably could have recorded or whatever, but I just didn't feel like it. So anyway, yeah, this is where I got to. Okay, this is, so there's a story already, of course. But yeah, this is where I am so far. Let me put something behind this. I feel like this is kind of see-through. I don't know if it's just because I'm so used to working on like 36 count now. I don't know. A lot of the, well, not a lot of the linen. I mean, needle art was on 32 count. I don't know. It just seems, but that was also hand dyed, so maybe that's why it didn't seem quite as loose of a weave on the fabric. I don't know. Um, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. So that's where I am, and this witch, oh my gosh, there's a whole story. So, not that it matters, like nobody will be able to tell, but this was so funny last night. So, this hat, these two stitches right here, should be moved one to the left. And like her head right here, should have like one less stitch, right? So that there's an empty space. I wasn't paying attention enough when I did these two stitches, and I thought they were both over here and they weren't anyway. And then when I got to the next line, I was like, oh yeah, leave a space, but I wasn't paying attention that I had done this wrong. And of course I just kept going because I was talking to Amy and not fully paying attention. Um, yeah, so then I got somewhere, I think I got right here for her chin, and I was like, that's not right, I have an extra stitch. Couldn't find where it was, and then I realized, oh crap, it's right here with this hat. I was only like 2 rows down, but I think I had already like joined in a new strand, and I mean, it was only loop start, it wouldn't have been a big deal, but I was like, you know, it's not that big of a deal where I actually feel like I want to rip this out right now, so I didn't. So I was like, it's fine. Her chin will just have 4 stitches on both of these. Cool, moving on. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it all turns out. Basically, all it did was make her head in general like a stitch wider um, than the pattern. I mean, really, you can really like barely tell. Honestly, the hat looks more different than her face does. Like when you first glance at it, it's not that big a deal. But the perfectionist in me was like, seriously, dude, like pay attention. But it's fine. So now I just decided to keep going. So yeah, I was not going back at that point, and I was kind of worried, like, does her face look too big? Like, should I modify her body to make it fit? I don't know. We'll see. So, I'm working on this broom right now. I'm gonna go down this way. There's a little bit more, and then come back all the way over here because I have to do the end of her broom. Um, and when I get out to this point and like have gotten past and stitched kind of the broom under her, um, I will see if I think it's necessary to add like 1 stitch to her derriere on every row. So we'll see. I don't know. Me and Amy were laughing. That was kind of the last thing we were laughing about. That it, I don't know, it just kind of looks weird now because her head is like 1 stitch wider. So I'm like, darn it, does her head look too big for her body? Like, is she a bobblehead witch right now? So, yeah. So, she might get a few extra stitches added to her, but whatever. Um, yeah, so I've got my black ready to go, and I decided on using B5200 instead of white. Um, yeah, the pattern calls for white, but I'm just gonna use B5200. I like held them both up to the black, and I like it better. Yeah, so I'm heading to my boyfriend's to hang out over there for the day. I need new scenery, I think, after stitching over here for so long. So, yeah, I'm gonna get out and about. It's a beautiful day outside, nice weather, so yeah, all that jazz. It's not like you guys are gonna see this until after Saturday is over, but I hope that y'all are having a great weekend so far and that your Saturdays are going well also. So, okay, I'm gonna jump off. I might do like some type of well, I would say midday. It'll be my midday. It's already 1 in the afternoon, like whatever. Yeah, so I might come back and do like a middle of the night kind of update or something. I'm not sure. Or I might just wait and check in either at the end of the night or first thing in the morning. Who knows? Just because I'm only going to be working on Quaker to Halloween, so I, there's not going to be a ton to like come back and show you guys today. Okay, enough rambling. I am gonna go get some stitching done. Oh, that was the other thing because I didn't film last night. So I'm currently at 12 hours out of 24 for 24 hours of cross stitch. This apparently was 3 hours of stitching time. Okay. I'm sure that these numbers are like slightly inflated, but it's fine. I am trying to like keep it even. Like if I accidentally, get distracted and for like 30 minutes or something and I forget to stop my timer, I will like as soon as I notice, I'm like, okay, stop the timer, and then I will like I'll look at the time and I'll be like, okay, stitch for 30 minutes. Whatever, how long the timer was stopped while I wasn't, or it was going, I mean, while I wasn't stitching, and I let it catch up so that I don't have to like do weird stuff to the timer because it's on the stopwatch. So that's not gonna work. Um, yeah. So it's been interesting. Yeah. So I'm at 12 hours, but I'm not. I mean, that feels right, but I don't know. Anyway, okay. Have a wonderful Saturday, and we will be back later with a check-in. Okay, hey peeps. So, I don't really remember what time I filmed earlier. It was almost 1, I think. Anyway, it's only like a couple hours later now. I haven't done all that much stitching just yet, but I just had a snafu that happened and it really made me crack up. And I thought you guys would enjoy this in the moment. So I can't believe I did this and really was not paying attention enough. So I don't even know which one I want to show you first. So, okay, so I looked at the pattern, right? I'm showing you guys the outside, obviously, but I looked at the pattern and I'm like, okay, next section of black, because I finished the switch and stitched the little body of the spider. So I'm like, okay, next let's work over here, less space to count, and I can just start in on the house, right? And I'm like, okay, this is how many stitches down I have to go, counting from the witch's shoe. Usually I double check 2 or 3 times. Like, especially because there are 2 shoes, so let's make sure it's the right one. I don't know what I was thinking. I just looked at my project and started going again. And was just stitching away, like paid 0 attention. And I got to where I was like, okay, let's squeeze out these last 2 stitches. Guys. And then I like looked and actually looked. The house is under the broom, not the witch's shoe. Yeah, so I mean, it's fine. It's not a big deal. I do have to rip it out because it's just not going to work with the pattern, but it made me laugh so hard. I don't know how I messed this up, but okay. So, I was also watching the latest episode of the Legacy Knits podcast with Chelsea and Sue. I love them. But yeah, so that happened. I'm not sure if I'm going to include the time that I'm about to spend frogging in my 24 hours count. I think I'll just look at the time and just keep up with how many minutes it took me to frog. Hopefully this will be the only time I have to frog. But yeah, okay, so that's enough. I just wanted to tell you guys that. I'm at my boyfriend's place. It's a beautiful day. And there's lots of stitching to be done. It's right at 3:30, so I am gonna frog this and get back to it. Hey y'all, so we are back. It is now Sunday, April the 26th, and I need to do a check-in. So you should have seen a clip from this morning. When I started stitching, I was still at my boyfriend's and he was playing video games, so it was too loud to do a clip of me like talking, but I tried. I think in the video you could see like my phone. I did that on purpose. You would kind of like know when it was. But anyway, so I don't remember, what did I have done? I think I hadn't started any of this because I of course started stitching while I was over there. So all of that outline is done for this motif, and you can see that I've started filling in here. And oh, and I finished the clock also. Yesterday, I ended up not stitching that much, like overall on Saturday, but it's fine. I'm gonna get a lot of time in today still. But the goal, I had started this clock and I wanted to finish stitching it and put the little hands on it, so because that was the reason it was eligible for like, oh, a time thing, because it was the clock. Well, Halloween's also a season in itself, so it would have counted. Anyway, so that's what I've gotten done. I am working on this motif right now, and then I will probably be, well, I'm going to do this motif, and then I think the bat I can fit in on the Q-snap, and then I'll probably do a Q-snap change. Well, I also want to go ahead and do the back stitching for the spider right here and for the clock. And I might even come over here. There's like another of these little decorative motifs. There are a few more over here, but one of them has another spider hanging from it. So I might go ahead and do that just so I can get all of that done while I'm doing the back stitching. So yeah, that's where I am right now. It's right at 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm about to get on a Zoom chat with Alma from Alma's Little Wonders. I don't know if I mentioned Friday that that I'd gotten on Zoom with her. I don't remember if I mentioned it. We posted about it on Instagram, but I don't know if I ever said it on here. So it's been kind of a busy weekend for like hanging out with people, but I love it. So. Okay, I think that's sorry also for the beeping, my microwave. I heated up food. Yeah, okay, so I think that that's everything. I will check back in at some point today. Yeah. Okay. My backstory for why I'm a little confused right now. My laptop earlier was having some issues with like the internet. I don't know. It was weird, but I like forced it to shut down and it seems to be working okay now. So the plan is that I will film a stitch with me at some point today. It may even be like later tonight. Hopefully not. Um, it would be nice to do it while there's some nice sunlight out, but not quite sure. So anyway, there will be a craft with me attached to this because it's Sunday and yeah, so look for that at some point. Okay. I am gonna go eat and then I'm gonna get back to stitching. Hey y'all, and welcome to well, actually, I don't have to do that intro. Wow, I'm apparently very used to it. But, okay, so I'm back. This is gonna be a craft with me on the end of this weekend vlog. And, as you can see, we're still gonna keep working on Quaker to Halloween. You should have seen a clip before this, kind of showing where I was before I moved the Q-snap. So this is where I am now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I filmed that clip before I did the move because you guys saw all of the spiders and everything. But anyway, this is where I am. Whoops. Sorry if I hit the tripod. Yeah. I really enjoyed stitching this. This was fun to stitch. So now we are gonna work on finishing up these flowers right here. So, I mean, y'all are seeing this after the fact, but I hope everyone's weekend was good, whether you participated in 24 hours or not. Okay. We're gonna pause for a second. I need to get my glasses. I'm trying to. Oops. All right. Here we go. So, oh yeah, that's much better. I think I can, that might help too if I hold this up a little bit. Hopefully I will stay in camera. But anyway, so this weekend was pretty eventful. That's the whole reason I did this vlog, and I'm pretty happy with the way it went. Saturday didn't have a ton of stitching, but I still got 22 hours out of 24, which was my goal. So 22 hours of stitching this weekend, I think that's pretty good. I think it was Alma that I was talking to about it, but I know at least for me, I feel like I get so excited. There we go. I feel like I get so excited, especially on Friday, because, the event's just starting and we're all pumped, we're ready to go. And I usually end up staying up all night or most of the night. And then Saturday is like recovery day. And then Sunday we're back at it. So, do any of y'all do that? I'm sure. I feel like I know a lot of us stay up the first night especially. I mean, just look at Virtual Stitchers. It was packed. So, yeah. But anyway, that's really all I want to say to end off the marathon. I mean, you guys have seen my progress on everything along the way. I got to finish. I've gotten pretty good ways on this new start, so yeah, I think it was a good weekend overall. Let's see, I always have to write down what I'm going to talk about because I never remember. Okay, so we kind of talked about end of April plans last time, but I feel like I was definitely rambling more last week. So I have kind of solidified I'm pretty sure anyway, my end of April plans are pretty much in place, and after this craft with me, I'm actually going to be switching projects to get started on these goals. But well, actually, that just contradicts the entire list, because the first thing on the list is to finish this. It is a small piece. It's just a little bit bigger than the needle art chart from Marjorie Massey that I just finished. So it's just a small bit. Oh my gosh. Okay, the other one was 93 by 97. This one is 100 by 100. So it's really not that much bigger. It took me about a week to stitch the other one. So I feel like I could knock this one out pretty quick, especially since I've already gotten so much progress on it. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Now I'm kind of thinking about sitting it down maybe just for a couple days. I don't know. But for sure, what I would like to do is finish page 3 of Cardinal Points. I just have the tiniest corner of page 3 left. So I really want to go ahead and finish that up, because that will meet my my April goal on that one. It was one of the Whipco pieces that was called for April, and I do want to finish it this year, but I'm aiming for a finish in August or September. So I just set the goal for April to finish the top half, and I'm almost there. Just need to pick it up honestly, it'll probably take me like a day's worth of stitching, less than a day's worth. Who knows? Yeah, things don't happen if you don't work on them, right? So, what's next? Okay. Whoops. I feel like I'm moving all over the place. Sorry to anyone that is actually like trying to watch me stitch. Okay. gonna hold it a little bit farther away since I have my glasses on. I can still actually see from right here. Because I keep moving because I'm trying to stay in camera. So this might help a little bit. So you guys don't get motion sick or anything. Okay. So, cardinal points. I think I would like to actually finish this one and get it out of the way, but it's also really enjoyable to stitch on. And it's only 2 colors, and it's way more black than white, so we'll see. I wouldn't mind carrying this one as a whip a little longer. It's enjoyable. But definitely finishing page 3 on cardinal points. And then my other WIPCO call for this month was temperature quilts, and my goal on the WIPCO board was 2 months, so 2 columns to complete on there. I still haven't finished the last 5 days of February, but I will knock those out and then start in, whoops, see, I keep pulling it closer to my face. Okay, and then so finish February and stitch March and April was the goal for that. And I think that I could really knock that out quickly if I focused on it and actually worked at it. So many things, so little time. Okay, and then the other thing that I had written down is 2 hours of full coverage each day. So theoretically at the beginning of the day, so that I can go ahead and get that done and just out of the way to focus on other things. And that full coverage pick would be between either Thanksgiving or change of seasons. So, yeah. I mean, it's pretty solid goals, I think. Besides this piece, now I'm rethinking whether or not I want to rush for a finish. Just because I have, like I said, so many goals that I want to accomplish. So another thing that I'm possibly thinking about doing, I haven't really talked about mania plans yet because they've been changing and just generally confusing me because I am being so enabled by everyone else's plans, and oh, that's a good idea, and oh, I should do that, and how could I incorporate, and oh, I want to finish this too though. So yeah, I will go through. I'm gonna make sure that I film Wednesday morning and get that up, uploaded on YouTube, and we're gonna talk about mania plans in full then. But the first, it's broken down kind of in halves. I don't know. I mean, kind of, yeah. It's kind of in 2 parts. So theoretically, the first part of the month, I mean, we always think we stitch faster than we actually do, so that will change a lot of things also. But the first half of the month, I am thinking about, or not thinking about, I'm going to be starting a bunch of smaller projects. So there are some Lizzie Kates over in there. I have a few heart and hand patterns. What else is over there? Is there more than one little house over there? I'm not sure. My kind of reward start, if I finish all of the minis, the reward pattern is a little house needleworks. Anyway, so there are 11 patterns over there that I'm gonna aim to get through, and if I get through all of them, then I get to start the bonus chart. Basically is what it is. It's kind of a reward for myself. It's a chart that I've really been wanting to stitch for a while. yeah, so that's kind of the first half. And I was thinking about just like moving those starts up. I was going to wait until May 1st to begin the kind of rush of starts, but I think it might actually be cool to kind of aim for like a finish mania or something. Um, yeah, so like I mean, it will still be finish mania regardless because I am aiming to finish all of them. But I think it would be kind of cool to go ahead and start some of them, maybe one a day or something. And then it's not quite so many starts. I really haven't decided because I had said that I was going to start the first one last night, and then I think I was stuck on this one because I was still counting for 24 hours. Um, but who knows? I might feel like starting a chart today. I just made up in my mind that if I don't feel like starting the chart that day, then it's fine. I'll just wait another day. But regardless, on May the 1st, we're doing some starts. Whatever's next in line. I did kind of put them in an order. Um, we'll see if I stick to that. I might. Who knows? So, yeah, that's kind of the start of my mania plans. I don't know if I want to take the time to try to explain it today just because it's still early and I'm already kind of rambling anyway because that's what I do on these craft with me's, right? So, okay, what should we talk about next? I already kind of brought up Whipco. This is really funny. See, Alma is still talking about it. It came in handy. Oh, I know what I did want to mention. I apparently have been kind of lacking on the YouTube comments lately on responding to them. So some of y'all who comment on a lot of the episodes, which thank you so much if you do. I love reading them. And I pretty much always respond to everyone, even if it's, just thanks for watching. I do respond to everyone. So, yeah, hopefully, maybe not in the last couple of days because I haven't checked, but I went through one day this weekend, I think, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't been checking comments for like the last 3 weeks. So, yeah, I went through and did that. So some of you might have gotten a ton of notifications, but thank you so much for commenting. To everyone. Where am I? Okay. So I did get that taken care of. I'm going to try to get back on top of that. Okay. So anyway, what we were going to talk about. Whipco. So I feel like a lot of people are explaining this. A lot of people are taking part in it, and which is, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm like about to wind off another strand of floss from the bobbin. And I have floss right here. Okay, get it together. Anyway, so Whipco. It is bingo, where instead of numbers on the grids, you have your projects, different whips or new starts, whatever you chose to put. Sorry if y'all heard that. I'm a thread looker. Anyway, so you put whips, new starts, whatever you want on there, and then you set goals, whether for the month, for the year, or both, for what you want to accomplish. Every month, Jessie Marie draws she's the mastermind behind all this, who started it, and made the Facebook group and everything. But, let's see, where am I? Okay, she draws 2 numbers every month, which correspond to spots on the board. Yeah, and then a lot of people use that as their focus pieces. I definitely have not been. Yeah, so I mean, the whole board is kind of essentially like your focus pieces for the year, and what you want to get done. Like I said, I'm not really doing all that great with it, whoops, so far, but we still got over half a year, so we'll see. But anyway, so like I mentioned, April's calls were, I think it was 11 and 25 for the numbers, but doesn't matter. For me, that was cardinal points and temperature quilts, like I mentioned. For May, which she just did the draw this morning, she draws on the 27th of every month for the upcoming month. So for May, the numbers are 20 and 4, and 20 was Egyptian elephant, page 1, which I'm really excited about. So I guess we are kind of going to talk about Mania plans. I just won't be showing you patterns and stuff. But, kind of for the whole month, this is my plan with my full coverage. I want to focus on them a few hours each day. Kind of like I wrote for the end of April plans with working on a full coverage for about 2 hours every day. I want to kind of aim for that in May also. So 2 or 3 hours, not the whole day because there will be other projects that I'm also trying to work on, but I do want to get some progress on full coverages. That works too. Full coverage projects. Anyway, the first one that I'm going to focus on is going to be change of seasons because I really want to get some progress in. Oh, that's my hand making the shadow. Oh well. I really want to get progress in on that. And then I think after I finish the park on change of seasons, because I'm at around 1,700 stitches, I think, out of 4,000 for the park that I'm using for that one. So I'm going to finish the park, and then I'm going to pick up Egyptian elephant. Now I've already done a park on that one, so 4,000 stitches, and I'm pretty sure that most of it, if not all of it, was on page 1. So I should be able to get a page finish if I complete another park on that one. Pages are usually around 8,000 stitches. I think they are usually 8,000 stitches, like the full page, maybe. But anyway, so I should be pretty close. So that'll be the goal for it. And then after Egyptian elephant, I'll probably come back to Thanksgiving and put in some work on it. So yeah. That's kind of part of my Mania plans. Like I said, there's so many different things that I want to do. It's insane. I mean, working on the parks and having all the mini starts and finishes, that was 2 separate ideas for Mania. And I'm kind of mashing them together. Like I said, theoretically, until like the first 2/3 of the month, we'll see. The second half plan that I've like come up with, it totally depends whether or not I start that part of it. Totally depends on if I get through my mini starts and finishes. Because parks, I mean, I'm working on it with full coverage projects, so I can keep rotating those for a while and keep getting sets of 4,000 stitches. But I'm really excited about these starts. Maybe I'll actually do a start today. I'm kind of feeling it now that I'm talking about it. I might even sit this down for a couple days. What do y'all think? Where is the pattern? Okay. I say that, it's right next to me. I know where it is. So this is the pattern. I finished this motif. I did the bat. The house, all of that is pretty much done. And you can see we're working up here. So right now I'm working on finishing this motif. I have to finish these flowers, and then the pumpkin in here. And then I think I'm gonna move down and work on this section. I mean, I really only, after I finish this corner, I only have the bottom part to go. Maybe I will go ahead and finish this. I don't know. Okay, so the people get to vote. I think that will be today's question. Or, well, as always, what are you lovelies working on? That's always the question for Craft With Me's. Are you knitting? Are you stitching? Are you sewing? What are you up to? Are you weaving? What are you doing? Maybe you're doing some needlepoint, or I don't know. Which, I mean, I still consider stitching. It's a broad term there. But yeah, what are y'all working on? And then should I just aim for a finish on Quaker to Halloween in April? What do you think I should do? And I'll come back and check comments probably in a couple days so I can see what the people have responded with. Okay. No, that one would be there. Okay. Alright. Did we talk about all of Whipco? Oh, no, I mentioned Egyptian Elephant, and then we got off onto Mania plans, right? So, Egyptian Elephant was number 20, and number 4 on my board is Love and Unity by Modern Folk Embroidery. Egyptian Elephant is a Haid, by the way. Yeah, so number 4 is Love and Unity by Modern Folk Embroidery, and I'm actually really excited about that. That project has kind of come up in conversation at least once or twice in the past week or so. I am kind of, yeah, I think I'm ready to pull that one out again. So I will try to fit that into May plans. It would more go into the second half of the month. So, like I said, if we get there, it will definitely be one of the first ones that I pull out to work on. I'll just go ahead and, I mean, I need to figure out which projects are in the second half, or possibly in the second half even, but the second part of my Mania plans was to keep working on full coverage every day, like I said, getting parks, and then also working towards a finish on some of these projects that are really close to being done or could easily be done if I just work on them. So like Pride Mashup, which is on the Whipco board, so at some point it will get called this year to be finished anyway. Love and Unity is on the board. Letters from Hogwarts is not on the board. It should have been. It's not, but I do really want to work on that one also because I'm behind. Chapter 3 comes out Friday, and yeah, whatever. Maybe that'll be when I start chapter 2. I mean, honestly, if I stay one part behind, I think I'm doing pretty good. So, we'll see. So many plans. I think maybe I do need to have a start today. Let's see. If I start one, that'll still give me 4 starts before Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So, I might actually, I might actually go ahead with these 4 starts. Maybe I'll, no. I was, no, absolutely not. I was about to say, what if I just like started 2 today and 2 tomorrow? That's, yeah, I don't know why. Not a good plan. Um, all right, I feel like at this point, I don't really know what to talk about. And it's more ums than flowing thoughts, I feel. I hope that y'all are doing good. That's another question. So we got a few topics today. No need to answer them all or answer any of them if you don't want to. But if you do feel like kind of chatting and interacting, leave a comment with your responses. So what are you working on today? Should I just aim for a finish on this project on Quaker to Halloween? And did you participate in 24 hours of cross stitch this weekend, or maybe Jesse's birthday sal? Oh my gosh, okay, this is a hilarious story about that. So last week and I mean, when I first thought about this piece for Jesse's birthday sal, so the theme was something to do with time. And when I looked at this pattern, I thought that this right here was a clock. I did not pay attention to like the dip in the middle. Like that is the dead giveaway that this is a bird in front of the moon. And the only reason I figured that out is because this was while I was on with Alma, and I was like, yeah, I was actually kind of confused at first if I was going to put the bird in, if I was going to backstitch the bird, because it just looked like the moon, you know, behind the house. And then she was like, yeah, that's what I thought it was a bird flying in front of the moon. And I was like, oh my gosh, it definitely is. I don't know how I thought it was a clock. So, yeah, but that was hilarious yesterday. I really thought it was a clock, y'all. It looked like clock hands to me. I don't know. That was the first thing that I thought of. Or maybe I just really wanted to start this project, and I looked at it and my brain said, that looks close enough to a clock. Let's go for it. I don't know. Maybe my subconscious knew it wasn't a clock. But regardless, I am glad that I've gone ahead and started this one. Because I might have tried to put this in Mania if I hadn't started it already. And I think that, I'm not quite sure, I don't remember all the measurements for those patterns, but I think it would have been like the biggest one. So it's a little bit bigger than a mini in my perspective. So I am glad that I've already got this one started, because I was already itching for a start, and now it won't have to take up some of my time in May, hopefully, if I go ahead and get it done. I'm going to let you guys weigh in, and that's going to be my decision. I feel like Instagram would just tell me to finish it, so I'm going to leave it to my trusty video watchers to tell me what to do here. I think I'm right here. Yes. Okay. So I think that's everything I really wanted to talk about. I mean, we're already at 31 minutes, so I am going to go ahead and end here. Thank y'all so much for hanging out this weekend. If you have been watching the vlogs, I hope that everyone is doing well, that you're staying healthy and entertained. As always, thank you to everyone that's still going out on the front lines for us, in any manner. So this is where we got to. I will be back in a couple days, and I hope y'all enjoy your crafting. Happy stitching, y'all.